Hey there, how's everyone doing on this very chilly day here in Michigan? It is snowing. I'm getting alerts on my phone that schools are not doing their afternoon activities. As you can see, I'm in a different environment today. It is Wednesday, and those of you who are following me might know, but maybe you don't. I also am my background's in exercise science, nutrition. Athletic training was my degree, and I went on and did my massage therapy. So on Wednesdays, I get to see clients. I get to help them go from dysfunctional to functional with my hands and with my knowledge between my brains. So I do two things, and I love them. They're my absolute passion. And so today I have a break, and I wanted to come to you guys because many of you guys are sharing with me kind of what your struggles are in business, like what is happening, where your obstacles are. And one big one that I see over and over and over and over again is organization. How many of you guys struggle with organization? Drop in the comments where you're watching from, what your atmosphere outside looks like. It's going to snow like 8 inches today here. I'm actually excited. Because my boys are going to be super excited about it. But where are you watching from? What's going on outside your window? And also, if organization is part of your struggle. I mean, I'm organized in some aspects of my life, but if you ask my husband, I am the most unorganized person he's ever met, because what he looks at is the organization of our home. You know, laundry. I am not organized on laundry. I am not organized on dishes. It's just not a priority of mine, because that just doesn't mean, I'm not going to create success by keeping up with my laundry. Like, I'm organized in my business, and that's where I put my priorities. So I'm going to give you some tips today. Number one, on how to start organizing whatever is unorganized in your life. And I have no idea what is going on. Like, what is the problem? I don't know. So I can't give you like specifics, but I can give you the generalized topic of how I combat this, how I overcome this. Okay, so little background. Here's the thing. I have built a extremely successful business without an office. So you don't have to have an office to be organized. I'm going to put that disclaimer out there right now. Okay? So just because you don't have an office doesn't mean you can't be successful and organized, right? Okay, so that's the first thing. But I want you to ask yourself, the number one thing is recognizing what the problem is. What part of your unorganized life is actually unorganized? And what can you change? What do you have access to changing? What do you have the power to change? And what do you just have to find a better way, another way around it, okay? So understanding that I didn't have an office. So having space to organize was just not an option for me. So that wasn't something that I could change unless I moved, which we're doing, okay? But until then, I still have no office. So that's not something I can change. But what I could change is in the environment, in what I had, how could I be more organized? What tools could I use? Because that's the big word, use. You actually have to use them to make them work. What tools could I use to help me be more organized? So what is it? What's the organizational issue you have? Drop in the comments. Is it, I don't know how to organize my follow-ups. I don't know how to organize, because guys, there's a lot of things. I don't know how to organize my space. I don't know how to organize my day, my calendar. I don't know how to organize what I'm looking, my environment I'm in. I don't know how to organize. What is it? You have to define what isn't organized before you can fix it. Okay? So when you are at that point of you've recognized now what the problem is. Okay, I'm getting some comments here. Thanks, guys. Follow-ups. That sounds like a lot of them right here. Okay, so when you recognize what the issue is, now we have more of a fine-tuned path that we can go down. So I'm just going to use follow-ups because most of you guys are asking about that, and that's your obstacle, that's your problem. So I'm just going to start there if that's cool with y'all and just go down that route. But okay, so ask yourself, what is it about my follow-up system that's not organized? Do you know who you've chatted with on each day? Do you know what day it is that maybe you have a product that you send out samples? And do you know what day it's actually arriving to the person? Do you know what day they're actually going to start whatever product? Or, you know, hey, I just got a sample of some face stuff in the mail from a friend in Tennessee. And, you know, she reached out to me and said, hey, you should have received your sample for your mini facial. And I'm like, yeah, I did. She goes, awesome. When do you think you're going to experience that? When do you think you're going to take a few minutes for yourself as a mom and do that? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know. And she's like, how about you commit to doing it on this day? I committed. And so I'm like, oh my gosh. And she's like, okay, I'm going to follow up with you on, it was Thursday night I was going to do it. I'm going to follow up with you on Friday morning to see how it went and what you liked and didn't like about it, okay? I was committed. I'm like, this woman's going to follow up with me Friday morning, and I got to talk to her. So it was perfect because that was something that I introduced into my business as well, is that I know it just arrived today because I have a tracking number of what I ship out, right? Or if you have a back office with your company, you can track your customer shipments and your promoters. You can track all that. You can tell when it's happening. Now to stay organized with it, it is actually you have to put it into a calendar to tell you what day, what's happening. You have to plan for it. You already know the date. So instead of hoping that your mind remembers it, the only problem that you have to fix is putting it on a calendar. That's it. Now, the second problem will be opening your calendar. You actually got to open that calendar. You got to see what's going on that day. Is this all making sense? I know it's so elementary, but seriously, I struggle with this too. Every now and then I'm like, I dropped the ball on that. My gosh, I dropped the ball. I never even reached out to that person. And at the end of the day, it goes back to the elementary fundamentals of just literally scheduling it, getting it on paper, and knowing on the 15th, this is what's happening. This person's getting this. This person's on this. This person's ordered. It should be there. This person. It literally is simple if you put it in a calendar. Now, many of you like online, digital, or paper. It's one or the other. I like both. The reason I like both is because I have found I cannot stay on track with my follow-ups on my digital. It just doesn't work for me. It may work for you, keep doing it. But what works for me is I have to put all my follow-ups when people are getting stuff, when I need to reach out to them, who I've reached out to, when I need to reach out to them again. That all goes on my paper daily calendar. Yes, I use a daily calendar. And I don't necessarily, because I use the daily calendar and I have an online calendar, I'll tell you guys, I use my online calendar for all my calls that are scheduled, different times I'm going live, all the things, all my appointments are in my digital because it sends me those notifications like, hey, in 20 minutes, you got to do this. In 10 minutes, you got to do this. Yeah, I have all that on digital, but everything of what I'm going to do day to day is going to be in my planner. And so that's daily. I don't mind the times. That does not mean anything to me. Seriously, I use the lines of, Alicia, order arrived. Jenny, call, see how she's doing, follow up. This person, text them. They're expecting, they wanted to look at something. So give them a couple days, look at it, now text them back, right? It's all my follow up is on my paper calendar, and all my scheduled things is all on my digital. I personally have to do it separate. So the questions you got to ask, just to sum this up, literally is you've recognized the problem. It's your follow-up. You now have a solution to experiment with. You now know that you have to take action, because without action, it's still going to be a problem. You're never going to be successful. You're always going to struggle with it. So you got to take action. And when you're taking action, you figure out what works and what doesn't work for you and make those small changes. Don't give up. Don't stop. Make those small changes, right? I had to find for myself that I needed 2 different calendar formats, platforms that worked best for me. So here's the 3 questions always ask yourself when you're starting a new way of organizing or doing something is, what is working? What is not working? And what might I do different? And it can be, like I said, something small. So take action. If follow-up is your problem of organization, which that's why we talked about that, because most people were commenting that. If this was a value, drop in the comments. Value, yes, thank you, this helped. I want to know that I'm on track of giving you guys what you deserve, what you need. And so, hey, Rhonda. So with that, that's it. It's elementary stuff, but we all need to go back to elementary. We all need to go back to kindergarten. Every single day, I take myself back to kindergarten, the foundation, the things that work, what is working, what isn't working, what might I do different, and that's it. So with that being said, I hope you have an amazing day. I'm going to have some fun driving home in the snow here in a few hours after I get done seeing my next client. And then we're going to probably have some new snow boots at our door from Amazon, and we're going to go play in the snow. So with that being said, enjoy your day, take action. Don't just think about it. Don't get frustrated on what's not working. Figure out what's not working. Find a solution and take action. That's how you succeed. Have a great day, guys.